Hello and welcome to 9 News Now. I'm Elizabeth Val with a quick look at your headlines, and we're going to start with the story of the day and really the story of the week. That winter storm headed our way. That's why we want to start over in the Weather Center with Dr. Steve Caprata, who is tracking it and has the very latest for us. Steve.
Hey Liz, yeah, the news has been somewhat good today in that there's been a bit of a northward trend. Let's give you a look at the European model. What you'll see here is through the day on Saturday, it's largely got liquid rain in green overspreading the area, keeping the ice in pink well to our north. That's Saturday evening now. Overnight Saturday and the Sunday, cold air is filtering south, but it still shows ice largely to our north and really keeps most of it a little bit north of us. That's noon Sunday, and shortly after that has all the moisture moving out, which would be good news because if the moisture hangs on longer Sunday, that might increase the threat of getting some wintry stuff late Sunday before it all comes to an end. And here's why things have changed a bit. It's all about the storm track with an area of low pressure. Over the last 24 hours, the trend has been farther inland. What that does is that brings warmer air farther inland, kind of fighting off some of that cold and keeping the ice up to the north as well. Now, we can't rule out the other scenario just yet. This is just less likely that the low tracks closer to the coast, cold air does get farther south. That results in more ice potentially moving into our region. So right now, the National Blend of Models shows the chances of getting at least something measurable in terms of freezing rain, 40 to 60% near north of the interstates. That's at least 1/100th. But when you bump that threshold up to 1/10 of an inch, those odds really drop off, really focus near and north of the state line in terms of anything impactful. Tonight, we've had some showers around. Otherwise, it's mild outside. 60 degrees, winds out of the southeast at 5. And you can see still some showers kind of moving west to east. Most of these are on the lighter side. Tomorrow and Friday, mild. So one thing we'll point out, we're going to get into hard freezes next week. If you have pipes that aren't wrapped, get that done tomorrow, Friday. A few showers around. Then we'll keep an eye on the weekend for the potential wintry impacts. Let's hope trends continue the way they've been going. But regardless of that, there is the hard freeze threat early next week, and that is currently becoming a bigger story the way it looks, Liz.
Okay, Steve, so right now a lot of folks are looking at this. I know I was telling you my phone's been blowing up all day with people going, oh, what about the weekend? What about next week? What do we need to keep in mind right now?
Yeah, I think there's two things. There's still some uncertainty on where the ice ends up. So even though the trend has been our friend today, we're not telling everybody to write this off just yet. We're still a good 3 days out, so things could come back the other way. And then number two, I think it's preparing for the hard freeze. That's going to be a big deal. It's going to be the coldest weather of the winter and probably a couple of mornings with hard freezes, potentially down into the teens, especially as you get north of Baton Rouge.
Yeah, and we haven't really had that first cold, like really cold, solid freeze of the season yet.
Yeah, we haven't had a widespread hard freeze. These do look like it'll impact almost all of our viewing areas. So the 4 Ps, that includes the pipes. That's why I was saying get the pipes wrapped now before the weather gets funky over the weekend. You don't want to have to deal with that.
And at least we've got that little time, because even if we don't get the ice, like you said, the icy rain, we're still going to have to deal with that freeze.
Yeah, that's right. And the other thing about it is when that cold air arrives over the weekend, we've got a 7-day outlook. But even beyond that, it looks like chilly weather is kind of here to stay for a while. So we're going to be kind of locked in, some more freeze potential. And there's signs that beyond our 7-day could be another shot of really cold air moving in. So if you're a warm weather fan like me, you may not like the outlook here through the end of January.
All right, Mr. Winter is here to stay for right now.
Unfortunately. Yeah.
Okay, Steve, thank you. And we are not the only ones tracking the potential impacts here. Some familiar faces over the Governor's Office of Emergency Preparedness also taking stock.
Be prepared for the possibility of a little bit of icing. Even if we say it's less than 50-50 chance, it's still possible.
That's, of course, the state climatologist and former WAFB meteorologist, Jay Grimes, talking about the preps we need to consider for the next few days. You heard Steve mention it. Now's the time to get those pipes wrapped. That will be one of our top stories coming up on 9 News at 10. Of course, another good tool for you to have on hand right now, the 9 News app, also the First Alert Weather app. Those are two tools that you can have on your phone. You can scan the News app right there on that code. You can set up alerts in the Weather app as well to make sure that you stay on top of any changes. Steve and the rest of the First Alert Weather team also post videos regularly, so you can get those updates throughout your day and night as we move into those next few days, watching what this weather system going to do. Friends, our next newscast is 9 News at 10 on WAFB. We'll see you there.